get the new stuff out of the way first, and then we'll talk about that little thing you did with the Beeb 2 or 3 years ago. We do have a mic up here for questions. If you want to queue up for that, please be respectful. One question only. I have a question that's in 6 parts. No, you don't. No, you do not. Let's see. Karen.
Oh my god, the costumes are great.
All right, if you're cosplaying, stand up.
Ooh, very good. What about Roland here? What about Smurf?
I once went to see the Rocky Horror Show when I was really young. When I was really young, with the youth theatre group that I was in, and they said, yeah, you could, I didn't really know anything about it, they said, yeah, you've got to come in fancy dress to the Rocky Horror Show. So everyone turned up in, fishnet stockings, and I turned up dressed as a Smurf.
General.
I thought it was general fancy dress.
We call it like dressing up fancy dress.
Yeah.
So you know.
Sorry, that was embarrassing. But well done. You brought back that memory.
Arthur, you are in a new DC TV project that's going to be coming out later in the year.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Legends of Tomorrow.
I don't really know anything about it. We haven't started filming it yet, so I'm really excited. I'm meant to be getting in shape, which according to my...
Are you?
Yeah, I know. Which apparently just means eating everything. That's working very much. It's really exciting. It's a spin-off of The Flash and Arrow. I play a character called Rip Hunter, which is the name I've always wanted for myself. He's a time traveller, which is apparently the only thing I can do. And other things.
There's time travel in Broadchurch. I must have missed that.
Yeah, I did. I kind of snuck a bit there. It's going to be really exciting. I've just been doing lots of research, which is reading comic books, which has been really hard. But I get to go to Vancouver for a while and do that. And we shot a trailer for it, which looks really cool.
There was a 6-minute sizzle reel for the show, which made it look like you'd already shot the entire bloody series.
Yeah, no, we hadn't. We haven't shot anything. We all just met each other on that day and kind of pretended to have filmed. It's been weird the way they do that. But it's really exciting. I don't really know what's going to happen in it. But there's going to be time travel, and it's going to be a bigger scale than The Flash and Arrow. I think there's more. The effects budget's like 4 times as much. It's going to be like a big deal. I think they're pinning a lot of hopes on it. So that's not mess it up.
But the weird thing is that DC Comics and Warner Brothers, for all of their issues that they've had with movies, their TV slate, Craig Berlanti and that crew is insane.
Which is why I wanted to do it, because I was slightly wary about moving away for so long and doing another kind of sci-fi-esque thing. But those guys are so good at what they do, and so they really convinced me over the phone. They were like, "Look, we know what we're doing, and their track record speaks for itself." So I'm massively excited about working with those guys. And, the bits that I've seen of what it's going to be are amazing. So, it's really exciting.
But since you're going to be in the DC camp, Karen's in the Marvel camp now. Is there like a wedge going here?
Yeah, we don't.
There is now.
There is now.
I'm made aware of it.
The comic book wedge.
All your fault. Yeah. Are you done?
Yes, my Wikipedia page grows. So, Karen, the week after we spoke about in Dallas, you hadn't had a chance to see anything for Guardians 2 because James Gunn hadn't wrote the script. Not 36 hours later, here's James on Twitter saying, "Here's his Guardians of the Galaxy 2 script." Boom. So,
have I read it?
Have they handed it off to you yet?
No.
Read.
I could read, but I haven't read that. I don't think any of the cast have read it yet, so I just have no idea what's going to happen. I'm hoping that I've grown all the hair in the world. That's all I want.
Do you have to shave it again?
I don't know yet.
Surely they can put you in a
Put me in a bald cap.
No.
I mean, I'd love to get a bald cap, I think. Or maybe I'd just shave it again. Who
Yeah.
knows? I'm just going to let fate decide. Thank you.
You looked amazing with not only bald, but the short hair too, because there was a piece that I always love to reference, if you haven't had a chance to see it. Esquire magazine did this great clip with Karen doing Scottish colloquialisms. Gigi Edgley is here from Farscape, an Aussie, and I wanted to actually get the two of you side by side reading the same piece of English language and translating it into either Aussie or Scots.
That sounds great. I'm up for that.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal just to do. And you were working on your own project as an author as well. Talk a little bit about the screenplay that you're working on.
Oh, well, no one ever asked me about that.
That's my job.
I've written you're good. I've written a feature film. I sort of don't want to talk about it yet, just because I want to decide when I do that and then tell it the right way, because I'm really rubbish at pitching things. So I've had to go into meetings and try and pitch it, which has just been horrendous. But it's looking like it's going to get made, so we're just sort of in the process of making that happen at the moment. So more to follow on that one.
Strings to your bow.
Ooh, thanks.
I love the chemistry between you two. I always have. And not just from running around in darkened hallways at conventions, but just knowing that the camaraderie is there. And talk a little about when you guys first met. When Karen met Arthur.
It was at a read-through.
Yeah, you were wearing heels,
Yeah.
which because I'd heard that you were tall. That's all anyone had said about you. No, they said other things. But no, they said lots of nice things. I was so nervous about the whole thing. And then meeting you obviously was quite nerve-wracking. It was terrifying.
I'm not scary.
No, but you
was
really towered over me.
Yeah.
During the
Like, oh, nice to meet you.
I was like, oh, for God's sake, how's this going to
Which
work?
really blended for our characters. I feel like it immediately established what we were going to be like. You say you were nervous, but I have to tell you, on Arthur's first day of filming, he took a nap on set. That's how nervous he was. He took a nap on a chair like this.
You'll notice when I'm nervous or excited, I just fall asleep. Have you seen those goats that do it? Thank you.
When you guys first started on Doctor Who, the global reach of the show was still growing. The show grew under leaps and bounds with David Tennant as the Doctor, but it really seemed to hit its stride in America with the income of some Michael Smythe, Matt something or other.
Don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, neither do I. And his name slips my mind. So as far as the chin goes, when you guys were doing that read-through for the first time, there seemed to be this easy dialogue between us. There's some behind-the-scenes footage that's just really great, and like from very early on, there just seemed like to be this great chemistry. I'd like to get each of your thoughts on, as you were starting on Series 5 of the new show, and just like what each of you were thinking as that camaraderie was growing.
Well, you started before.
Yeah, so you weren't at the first read-through ever, because we shot the Angels two-parter of Series 5 first. So, yeah, but no, I can't remember now. Yeah, no, that's right. What was the question? Sorry.
Just what you're thinking when the triumvirate was, the triumvirate of Smith, Gillan, and Darvill was starting to form. Just
I guess in the 11th hour, because that's when we were all together.
But I mean, we did have a lot of fun doing it, and there was a lot of camaraderie. But it took a while for it to become natural. I think that's, you know, you go into these things and you try and kind of do that thing of having lots of fun and making it work because you're working hard to make that chemistry work. And it was, you know, we all did get on. It took a while for it to kind of sit back and become.
And then it became second nature.
Yeah.
Like just messed around so much in between takes. It was like Alex Kingston describes it as 3 little puppies playing for the first time.
Because we were there every single day.
Yeah, and maybe just like a constant state of delirium as well.
And it ran out of normal conversation with each other.
Yeah.
So there was nothing to actually talk
Turned
about.
into noises and movements.
we tried to annoy each other as much as possible, which we slip back into it, especially the three of us are together.
Yeah,
again. And then we go,
Can't help it.
we're not older now. What are we doing?
Yeah, like we're grown-ups, apparently.
I do want to, there's a lot of people who do have questions, so I do want to get to them, but I did have one specific question about Angels Take Manhattan. It's rare when you have characters of your level so far in advance people know this is it for that character. There's no surprise, but there was still so much emotion in each of your performances from that episode. And as you're getting ready to wrap on your final day as regulars, and it obviously wasn't the last scene of the show because you normally shoot a sequence, but just talk about your last shoot day as regulars on.
Oh, horrendous. Do you remember what we shot?
Did we do the thing in the lift?
It was, yeah, but the last shot we ever did was in the Power of Three. And it was the shot of like the three of us walking into the TARDIS.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then we
Looking at
finished.
heroically, and then we went into the TARDIS one by one, which felt really apt actually
Yeah.
to enter the TARDIS. And like, yeah, and then on the last take, we were all in the TARDIS, and it's really dark in there. So ruin it for everyone.
And small.
Really small. And like you go in, and then it's like that, and then we all just like hugged,
Yeah.
and it was so sad. I burst into tears.
It was hard to know what to feel, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
like,
because it was like just such a monumental moment in so many ways,
yeah.
and you have to just live that, and yeah, it's weird.
Arthur.
Yeah, it was, you know, I think filming that last episode, we felt quite a responsibility, not only to do it justice, but to not be indulgent with it. And I think it's quite easy to, you know, to leave it and yeah, and indulge in the emotion of it. But I think the story was so good that we felt that we really had to do it justice. It was hard, wasn't it? You refused to read the script
I would
for
read
ages.
it. I wouldn't read it. I was in denial, severe denial. Still am. We're still in.
Yeah, we all go to each other's houses on a Saturday night and just
Yeah, run around.
Run around.
Imaginary monsters.
get my cat to chase us around.
Your Tilton was good, but I didn't know it was that good. All right, let's go with our first question here.
Yeah, my question's for Karen.
Yes?
The Marvel Universe is being driven by the Infinity Stone so much,
Yeah.
and that's based on a comic called the Infinity Gauntlet, and
Yes.
Nebula plays such a pivotal role in that, and her character goes through such an amazing transformation. And I've thought many times how cool it would be to watch you play that. And I was wondering if you read that comic, any of the Nebula comics, and thought about what it would be like to play that role.
I would love to play that role. I read the Infinity Gauntlet for research when I was starring on Guardians, and it was so cool for Nebula. She does so much stuff, and she takes the glove. So I'm really hoping that they incorporate that into one of the stories. I mean, I don't know if they are or not, but I mean, I want them to. So let's see.
I would love to see you do that.
Thanks.
So say we.
Okay, so my question's kind of, not kind of, it is for both of y'all. I'm an aspiring actor. I go to a magnet program at my high school for musical theater. And Arthur, I know you've done stuff on the West End, so I wanted to know if y'all had any advice for me. Because I'm really hoping to go to Broadway one day.
The bright lights of Broadway. I'm so these kids. I'm so bad at giving advice. Really, I feel like I'm not in a position to be able to give any
Take the
advice.
position, Arthur.
Don't be a dick is my only advice.
This panel is rated PG-13.
That's the only advice I ever give. Like, I just do it. I don't know. Just do it and make sure you. I don't know. I'm not in a position to do it, but just keep doing it. And make sure you're doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done musical theatre, but I would just say train, work
Yeah.
really hard, watch other people do it. That's all I do. It's like when I'm not working, just watch other people who are better at it.
And find your own way of doing it. Like if kind of going down the drama school route isn't for you, that's totally cool. I know some of the best actors I know never went to drama school, but it's about training yourself and, you know, being aware of where you want to be and how to get there.
Thank you.
So good.
was rubbish.
I was wondering if you guys still watch Doctor Who just as fans, and if you do, are there any specific episodes or moments in the show that you would have liked to get involved in and thought, this would have made so much better if I was still on the show? Are there any?
Every episode. I've fallen a bit behind.
So have I.
Oh gosh, what are we doing? We're lagging. I was really excited to watch Capaldi's first real
That's
episode.
the last one I've watched.
Are there?
I know. But I can watch it all. It feels weird watching it now.
I know.
Like, I don't know,
Like,
it was
who are
such a
these
big
people?
part of our lives. And just
Yeah.
hearing that music makes me go, oh, God. And then when I go, oh, I'm not in this one. Oh. Because I hate watching myself as well, so you kind of have to do that. So it's less of a, it's got such mixed emotions.
Yeah, it's weird. I think you can't help but have the sense of ownership over the TV show because it consumes your life when you work on that TV show. I mean, we all moved to Wales. We worked every day. So it's so weird to see it happening without us now. So it's a bit strange.
I think I will watch some of it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Because I think Pete's brilliant, Jenna's amazing.
Yeah, and they're really good together. I think I really like their dynamic.
And I've been a fan of Capaldi since The Thick of It, which was, if you've never seen The Thick of It,
Classic.
if
You want to hear some real swearing?
yeah, that is a master class in swearing Capaldi does. So we put a reel together. It was Doctor Swears. Like, no, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, what's up? Hi guys.
History.
He's a homie.
Cool. You guys just chat.
Alright, so hey guys, welcome to Texas. And actually my question is for Arthur. I saw you perform in New York for once, and I cried like a little baby when you sang Falling Slowly. And my question is, with your experience in singing, do you hope that you get more roles to merge in your musical talents? Because I also have your album from Edmund, so just saying. I
So sorry. It's so weird that that album keeps coming up. Because we wrote that when we were like 17, 18, I think. Which is, a long time ago now. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd like to say, I'm wary of doing. I don't have the voice to do like musicals, but I like the stuff that I've done, and I don't know. I'd like to sing more and stuff. I'd like to do a musical film. I think that'd be great. Yeah, I kind of keep all my music stuff going, bubbling on the side. So I'm always writing and playing and doing gigs. But yeah. I don't know if I'd like to do another musical at some point. Just being in New York, doing that show was one of the best experiences of my life.
I went to see it.
Review.
Arthur took me onto the stage afterwards, and I got to stand on a Broadway stage. I was so excited.
It's great, it's amazing. So yeah, I'd love to go back to Broadway and do other stuff.
Hey, thanks.
I know you haven't warmed up, and I hate asking this, but there are a lot of people here who have not heard you sing.
I'm not going to sing.
Not even just one bar, keep falling slowly.
No.
Not just one?
No, I sing one note.
Okay. But dip.
I sing one note. Four.
Arthur Darvill!
In Australia, they made me sing. They put a guitar on the stage. What? I know. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Did you play it?
I sang a kind of an oak song. It was great.
Which one?
I just can't get you out of my head. The best one.
We're good?
No, we're awesome. You're awesome.
Thank you.
awesome.
Hi. Doctor Who seems like a very demanding show to produce, or film, whatever the word is. My question is, what was one of the more or most difficult things about acting or being in the show?
I would say the schedule is pretty demanding. So we would work, and it's not a show where there's a big, huge cast and you sort of have days off. We were in all day, every second Saturday we would work. So it was just really sort of time consuming, but it was really fun. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about it, but and also it was really cold.
It was the cold that was the
so
worst thing
cold.
about it.
Because we were shooting castles, which are basically fridges.
There wasn't the one bit where I wasn't in this bit, but I remember I was there on the day with Tony Karan doing
Ice.
where you had to put ice in your mouths.
Oh my god, yeah.
In the
so-
freezing cold.
Yeah, so basically it was so cold that we had to eat ice cubes, spit them out just before our lines, so that you wouldn't get the steam coming out, because it was that cold.
So, hi, it's really cold. Could you just eat some ice?
So, yeah.
But in Texas, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I love the Texas heat. You guys are obviously sick. I love it.
Not bad
Oh.
We traded in for our 3 days of winter.
Yeah.
Except for global warming. All right, right here.
Hello. This question is for Karen. I've seen you in like Doctor Who and obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, and you're awesome. But then I saw you in 7 Days in Hell, and I'm just wondering, what was it like working with Andy Samberg, which is like completely out of what you usually do? So.
Yeah, it was really cool working with him. I think he's hilarious and so funny, so I was like, I can learn a lot from this guy about comedy. And it was interesting. I don't know if you've seen it.
What is it?
It's a spoof documentary about this tennis match that lasted 7 days in Wimbledon. Yeah, and I played like this girl. I don't want to spoil it, and it's also not really appropriate for kids to talk about this theme. But you can imagine. So that was interesting. Sort of being like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Let's do this." So yeah, it was good though.
And it is out there on I think Netflix is streaming it.
Oh, are they? Really?
HBO Go, yeah.
HBO Go. It's on HBO.
And then if it's on HBO, that means you can turn on HBO 17 and it'll be running somewhere on one of their many, many networks. Really, really funny stuff. And the thing about Sandberg that's just is ridiculous is you can always look at him at any point and he's making a face that humans aren't supposed to be able to make.
Yeah, he can really contort those facial muscles.
Ready?
Hi. This question is for both of you. What was your favorite episode of Doctor Who to shoot? Like,
The 11th Hour. Mainly because I loved what my cousin did. It wasn't even the bit I was in.
Great.
Amazing. And just to establish my character so well and make everybody like her, I was like, thank you,
I
cousin.
think that was such a well-written episode as well.
Yeah. Well, I think Stephen Moffat had it in him his whole life, really. He'd been waiting for that moment where he gets to write his first Doctor Who episode. And it was just there, waiting.
I like that one. I also liked all the Big Bang and Pandora Opens. I thought they were really good fun to do. Cold again. But all the Roman stuff I loved doing. It was really, really fun.
The opening bit on A Good Man Goes to War where you're facing off against a Cyberman. And
I can't watch that though.
Really?
Yeah, I hate
That's my
it.
favourite line that you've ever done. What is my wife?
I thought I was sitting next to myself there.
That was really good.
Good,
Well,
thanks.
there you go.
hello. My
Hey.
question's for Arthur. So, of course, in Doctor Who, you had to kiss Karen a lot because she was your wife. But
You lucky guy.
both of you very lucky. But there was a couple instances where you kissed Matt Smith, or he kissed you. So my question, yeah, lucky. My question is, who's the better kisser?
Yeah. Well, it's difficult because Karen's face is so round and mine is so pointy from here. You see that it kind of it's quite difficult. Whereas Matt's face, we kind of tessellate. We fit together better. I think because of physics.
Oh my god, I can't believe a man has beaten me on that. You'd rather kiss a man than me.
Do you Dear Twitter, you're never gonna believe what I said.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
I want to have a question for both of you. I wanted to ask, how do you think your characters, Amy and Rory, would have handled the Doctor regenerating into this different Doctor that their characters did not start out with? Like, they'd been there when Matt Smith regenerated.
They've already just been totally freaked out by it. Dealt with it very well.
I think Amy would be pretty excited by this idea, and if it was Capaldi, she'd be like, yeah, you're speaking properly now. So,
I'm not going to speak out of von Linde.
Sorry, thank you.
Y'all move forward.
I don't know how much free time y'all have when you travel around to conventions and whatnot. You get to enjoy the sights or the culture. Have you had the opportunity to ever try Texas barbecue?
Right, I've got some family in Texas. And when I was a kid, I went to a Texas barbecue place, and my aunt was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Chicken." And they brought me out a whole chicken, and I was like, "I love it here." Yeah. A whole chicken, all for myself.
yes, I've never tried it. I really want to. I tried to find it one time when I was in Austin and couldn't locate. Is it? Well, it was during South by Southwest. So everywhere was 2 packs, so I didn't get any. So hopefully this time.
So should I bring you some tonight or tomorrow?
We're gonna have problems with the convention center. I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Between 5 and 6.
Is the one here?
Oh, right out front.
A big pig? A real pig? Cool.
Barbecue.
I'm sorry. Hi.
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 Hi, Karen, you're so sweet. Because I met her first. You weren't there. You walked away.
Great question.
It's your question.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I know you did Broadchurch with David Tennant, and I watched the first season. So anyways, my question is, what did you reminisce with him, like, whenever, like, well, I know you weren't together in Doctor Who, but did y'all have, like, comparison and, like, little, oh my gosh, do you remember, or did you, like, you know, little geeky, like, Doctor Who moments whenever y'all were working together?
No. That was a lovely question. Thank you. No, we didn't really talk about it. There were so many people in Broadchurch who had been in Doctor Who as well, which was kind of nice. I really love filming that show because because the cast is so huge, and it's full of the nicest people in television, apart from, you know, Karen and Matt. I'm feeling guilty about the kissing thing.
You can't work your way back from that.
I know.
Round at the pubs for you.
Yeah, barbecues on me. But yeah, we didn't really talk about it. I wish we did. I might lie next time I get asked that question. Far more interesting than me giving the answer I just gave.
I'm just curious, because I kind of want to watch Stay Freaked Out, so.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. It was quite hard stuff that we had to film together, so we were very much kind of in our own. And we're not meant to like each other in Broadchurch.
I just wanted to ask, for both of you, with your recent steps into DC and the Marvel world, do you have a favorite superhero or comic book character, personally, childhood, and if so, why?
I quite like Spider-Man. Yeah. I think he's really cool. I would quite like to be able to shoot web out of my fingers. I think that would be really useful.
Appropriate touching, right?
Yeah. I was a big Superman and Batman fan when I was a kid. Christopher Reeve, those Superman films, and Richard Pryor in that movie is just great. So that was my entry into it. And then I love the how dark most of the Batman movies go. I think they're great. I like his story. I think it's cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Her answer was Marvel, his answer was DC. I think there's programming going on. Well played, both of you.
Hi. Alright, I have a question, obviously. Alright, I know after watching like 4 or 5 hours of Doctor Who, I get a British accent, and it's really upsetting to British people. I was wondering, do y'all get American accents if you watch American TV?
I think I've been a little bit affected by moving to America.
You live in LA now.
I live in
you
Los
must
Angeles.
have quite a good American accent, right?
Well, it's getting easier to do it, but like I play American all the time now, and that is getting quite difficult to differentiate between my own and when I'm acting. And then I try to stay in it to try and get better at the American, and then I just sound like a weirdo.
I think Scottish to American is quite a good
Well,
job there because it's not that far.
It's not like there's a lot of similarities, whereas English to American is much more of a leap.
I find it quite hard. I just used to sit hard. I think it's hard.
It's really hard.
But when I started going up for American jobs, I haven't done a job in an American accent for a while, apart from in England where they don't really, you can be quite bad at doing it. But yeah, when I started going up for the jobs, I'd get notes back from my tapes going, yeah, I'm not quite sure what accent that is. So we have to get lessons and all that stuff.
Dialect lessons.
Dialect lessons.
I take them all the time.
Yeah.
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 Go check up with Jamie Bamber. That man's American accent fooled everyone.
Yeah.
It's insanity, that man. And then he goes on set with James Callis on Galactica, and James speaks with his normal British accent, and Bamber looks at him and says, "How dare you speak in our proper tongue?" It was just insane.
Do an American accent.
Okay.
You're really good at that.
We'll practice. Just not the Texan drawl. Yes, sir.
I'm probably wasting this question.
That's my favorite type of question.
I wanted to know if y'all could sign this.
Go meet them down at their panel. They'll be able to do all signings down at the table.
Okay.
But they'll be able to take your aid there. But sorry about that. Next up.
In Doctor Who, what was your favorite monster?
Ooh. I don't remember.
Such a good answer to that question. I'm totally stealing that.
Always goes
I don't remember. I like the Oods. It's not really a monster, are they?
My dad went to the beach the other day and brought back some seaweed and put it on his face and was like, "I'm an ood." Last week.
My nan, who's from Redditch.
No Reddish fans here.
No Redditch fans. I invited her to I think it was the proms, the Doctor Who proms, in London at the Albert Hall. There's like a big orchestra and stuff. And I was like, Nan, I really want you to come down, it'd be really fun. And she went, oh no, I don't want to come. I'm not gonna go there with all those cider men. You will be inebriated. Oh no. She really didn't want to. And I've watched Doctor Who with her before as well. And she sits there just going, oh no. Oh no. Why does it have to be so horrible?
Cosplay Gallifrey people, if you're not working on the Cidermen by the next show, I'm very, very disappointed in each of you. Thank you for your question. Next up.
Hi. I was wondering, for Karen, what was it like when you actually got casted for Nebula, and then they had to say you had to do something with your hair? What was your first initial reaction?
Well, the first thing that happened was I got a call from my agent and they were like, "Are you willing to shave your head?" And I was like, "What for?" And they were like, for a Marvel film, and I was like, absolutely. So then, but to be honest, I really didn't think I was going to get the role. It seemed really far-fetched, and so I went in for one audition, got a recall, had to go and read again with James Gunn, and then had to go in again for like a screen test, where they like painted me blue and stuff. Fact, I got the role playing Nebula Scottish, and then they made me American afterwards. Throw that in there. But yeah, no, and then when I got the call telling me that I got the role, I was like, my initial reaction was like, oh, I'm actually going to be bald. That was my initial thought, and I was like, okay, this will be cool, because when would you ever really do that? So I'm glad I did it. It was good.
They made you a wig of your own hair, right?
Yeah, and they took my hair and made it into a wig for me, so I can wear that now. Which is quite creepy.
I've seen you wear that.
Yeah.
Was that the wig you were wearing on stage at San Diego when Rooker?
No,
that
that was not even real hair. That was just some material. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was just a different wig. I still have that wig.
So you have like a row of wigs now?
I have like them on little mannequin heads in my bedroom. It's getting creepier. Oh,
Like
that's a
Return
good
to
idea.
Oz.
Okay, I'm gonna pin pictures of my own face onto them.
She's so cool.
It's my Picasso period, both eyes on one side. Thank you. Next up.
Arthur, are you going to make season 3 Broadchurch?
I hope so. We're all really busy, so it depends on what happens. Like, as far as I know, it's happening at some point in the future, but everyone's away kind of living their lives and doing other jobs and stuff, because it's such a big cast. I think it's a nightmare to get us all in the same room together. But fingers crossed, I really, really hope it fits in with what I'm doing, because I love working on that show.
And you have the final question. Make it a good one.
No pressure.
With something on it.
Supposed to be a GoPro on it.
Is that a GoPro? Oh, this is gonna be cool.
When he nodded, that just made everything shake.
So, you guys were my favorite companions in the show.
Thank you.
I just felt like you and Matt Smith and that TARDIS interior blended in really well with the show. So here's the questions for both of you two to answer. If you could make a Doctor Who episode, what would the storyline be?
Shall we just make it up right now?
Yeah.
Rory's shoes start moving and taking Rory with them.
He realises he's stepped in some alien life form that take over his shoes.
Makes him do bad things. And
Like kick people.
yeah, you kick your wife.
You all the time.
Stop it.
And I think I can't work out whether I'm kicking you because I want to or because I'm being made to.
Yeah. And then they take you to another planet. You run off the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Go onto another planet.
And can't stop running.
Yeah.
And
me and the
get
Doctor-
really tired.
Yeah, and then you fall asleep. And then
I'm still running.
Yeah. And then what happens? We need to wrap this up.
And then you guys come along and
Take your shoes off.
yeah. The end.
With a script by Neil Gaiman, I think we can actually make that.
We've just written a really good episode.
I want to see that.
I'd watch that. Arthur, Karen, it is always, Karen, it's always a delight to hang out with you. Arthur, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Thank you very much for spending time with us in Houston today. The always amazing Karen Gillan.